Ashwin and Jadeja dominate a session of Test cricket in India. I mean, they're kind of supposed to do that, right? But no, this time it was with the bat. So India was struggling at 144 for 6 when the two veteran spinners got together to help India reach 339 for 6 at the end of play. So Ashwin playing in his home ground, obviously. Chepauk, he got notched up yet another 100, and Jadeja is in his late 80s. But overall, what a terrific turnaround, Ayaz.
It has been, and remember, it's also Jadeja's home ground because he plays for CSK. He's been playing for so many years. So, but Anirudh, this is a partnership which will be, I think, talked about for many years. India were in dire straits. Actually, they were in the doldrums. 34 for 3, spicy pitch. The top order taking a mighty tumble, and then when Jaiswal got out, it seemed like unless one of these two put up some runs, India might even struggle to reach 200, 225. But here you are at the end of day one, 339 for 6. Ashwin passed his century. I think the best of his career, he's made 5, I think, or 5 or 6 now. And this is, in my opinion, the best that he's done in Test cricket. And Jadeja approaching his century. But it's the partnership and the manner in which they played together. Ashwin a little more flamboyant, a little more enterprising, Jadeja rock solid. And then you look at it, partnerships in tandem, isn't it? One player has to complement the other. And the understanding between the two was fantastic. I thought they just completely scuttled Bangladesh's hopes of dismissing India quite cheaply after choosing to bowl first and making a very good show of it in the first session.
Yeah, and speaking of the first day and the pitch and the conditions, what did you make of the conditions? I mean, for that first hour of play, it seemed like we were somewhere in England.
Yes, it did. I mean, it looked like I remember a line from Ravi Shastri, the commentator. He said, "Look, looks like Chennai has become Switzerland or part of Switzerland." It was so there was help for the fast bowlers. There was a little bounce. I thought Mahmood bowled really well. He was the bowler who really exploited the conditions well, made the batsman play more often than and then didn't give enough width or not didn't bowl short enough for them to cut him or pull him. So I thought that had he got a little more support, and then of course they missed a couple of chances, I thought, just before lunch. But having said that, I think Bangladesh, they opted to field first, trusting the depth and variety of their attack. So they had fast bowlers, then they had Shakib and Mehdi Hassan Miraj. And I think that's where they ran into a bit of a problem, because once the pitch started easing out and the fast bowlers were not remaining as effective, they needed one of these two spinners to come up with some really incisive spells, which didn't happen. Mehdi Hassan was a little more impressive than Shakib. Shakib's performance really today was pretty shallow, to be honest. I mean, for somebody of his experience. So, yeah, I think right now, Bangladesh are up against it, because remember, these guys are not done. What Jadeja and Ashwin. Now they'll come in with the ball. And Bangladesh have to bat last in this pitch.
Yeah. And talking of India's comeback, I think it really started with that counter-attacking small short knock by Pant, which how great it is to see Pant back in his element in, I think, the format most suited for him, Test cricket. What did you make of that knock?
Yes, I think, I mean, it's difficult to say which format he's not suited for because he's just so good. But he's got this, he's got this knack of playing very pivotal knocks. When we say match-winning knocks, each need not be an 80, 90, 100 or 100 plus. Sometimes a 40 in a crisis just change the momentum of the game can be priceless. So he's got that knack, and he made 39 today, not a very substantial knock. But at that point in time, it was very crucial. And it was great to see these two young left-handers. Jaiswal, Pant is 26, Jaiswal a couple of years younger, and both of them pulling India out of the rut and taking the team to a semblance of respectability when the two fell. I mean, and then it was left to Ashwin and Jadeja with their rich experience to pull India out completely into a position of strength.
Yeah. So finally, where do you see the game heading? India ahead for now, right?
Well, I think that India, Bangladesh had their chances. I think they took their chances in the first two sessions, or at least a session and a half. After that, it was just Jadeja and Ashwin all the way. And as I said earlier, these two guys on Indian pitches are more lethal with the ball than with the bat. So I think that it's going to be uphill for Bangladesh from here, unless this is now letting imagination run wild. They bowl India out, take the remaining 4 wickets in double quick time within the first half hour or 40 minutes tomorrow, and then run up a score of 550, 500, something like that. Because if they don't do that, then I think that they'll be under the pump. They'll be under a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Anyway, it is more interesting that a lot of people were expecting India-Bangladesh contest to be, especially in India. So we'll keep bringing you the updates as and when they happen. So yeah, that's it for this episode of Sports Room. We'll see you next time.